Hey guys, I just want to give a quick update of what's going on here with the whole European Union fishing industry thing. My husband left at 3 in the morning today to go to Madrid. They had a protest at 1 o'clock there in front of the European Union Commission, whatever they have there in Madrid.
Puede mantener a su familia trabajando 27 días al año. El Partido Popular y el Partido Socialista, que han nombrado a von der Leyen, son los responsables y deben responder absolutamente. Nosotros en Bruselas y en todos los lugares de España vamos a estar con sus familias, con los pescadores, con una gran capacidad productiva. Lo que no podemos admitir es que vengan a pescar de Marruecos, de otros países, y los nuestros vivan en la miseria.
Muy bien.
Probably the media was there, and although I don't know how much they're actually putting on the media, to be honest, I don't really watch much on the legacy media anymore after I saw how much they were lying to us about so many things. And honestly, most of the people that I've heard who have heard about what's going on has not been because of the news. They have been hearing it through people like us, other fishermen. Of course, everybody says, well, this is impossible. They can't cut fishing days to 27 a year. And this is after they were already dropped to an average of 130 a year. So many fishing boats have just stopped because they can't keep this up. And we were hoping that the few that remained, would at least be able to keep things up because there wouldn't be as much competition, et cetera, et cetera. But it looks like now the whole target is any remaining fishermen at all. And the problem is, this is not just fishermen. This is the people who make and fix the nets. These are the engineers. These are the motorists. These are the restaurants in my area. There's so many restaurants that are dependent on local fish. They do not want this crappy farmed fish that the European Union is pushing with the Agenda 2030. But it's also, the offices that are here. And, I think a lot of this is an attack on the trawling industry. But the problem is all of the offices and all the ports where they actually sell fish, they are mostly dependent on the trawling fishing. So the few artisan type, small type fishing that are left, they wouldn't have a place to sell their fish anymore, because all of the cofradías, is what they're called here, would end up closing down because they're already having a hard time staying afloat. Sorry for the pun, but we shall see what happens tomorrow. People are like, well, we know that this is not going to go through because this is impossible. How could they just do something that's going to kill an entire industry? And not just that, an entire industry which our food is dependent on this. It's the whole thing about the Agenda 2030 is zero hunger, but they are going after any of the places where you can get food, and especially nice, healthy, local food. They're really set on getting in these multi-company corporations, these big fish farms, and they're very toxic. If you go near them, you will see that everything is dead in the water around these things. Tomorrow, we will be having a local protest here in the port for the fishermen. But I have friends who are going to Valencia, and there is another big protest because the farmers are having the same issues, and I guess the European Union just signed in a new free trade thing that will allow, while they put really strict regulations and impositions on everybody who works here in the food industry, the farmers, the fishermen, anything like that, they are bringing in as much food as they can from countries where these things aren't regulated. So we get a lot from Northern Africa and that sort of thing. And of course, it comes in a lot cheaper because they don't have the same regulations and things to deal with as we do here in the European Union. I don't understand how they have so much power. These bureaucrats were not voted in by anybody. They're making these huge monumental decisions, and nobody knows who they are, how they got there to where they are right now. And they're all people, whereas my husband would say, these are people who have never seen the sea. They don't know if it's salty or not. They've just never been there. They don't know anything about it. And these people don't even look at the studies. And I don't think they want studies. It's like, and if they did do studies, they would probably do them to put in their ideas and So it's just very, very frustrating because all of these things they do make absolutely no sense. And I have a friend who's from this area and it had these big trees that were there for just centuries, and they're going in the name of the environment, and they are killing off the environment to put in these massive farms of solar panels. And they're not even going to places where it's already like desert areas and they can actually get closer access. They are going to places where they have to bring in just miles and miles of cable, and they're killing off wildlife and just wonderfully rich areas. They're killing it off. And it's like, why are you killing off the environment in the name of the environment? My friend says that they're all psychopaths. I don't know. It's just nothing makes sense anymore. And it's just very frustrating. And I don't know. I don't know what to expect tomorrow. I don't know if this is about money, if this is about power. It's definitely not about common sense. It's definitely not really about zero hunger or having clean seas. I don't know. We shall see. Tomorrow supposedly is the big decision. I don't know what to expect, but everybody says, no, this can't be. There's no way they could pass this through. Makes absolutely no sense. But what does these days?